I'm gonna start here, and welcome to probably one of the most long-awaited Let's Plays on here since Mass Effect Trilogy, The Great Ace Detective Chronicles. Oh boy, I've been looking forward to this game. Yeah, I said I would have another Capcom property to, start. Yes, I am playing, the PS4 version. I also have the Wii version, Switch version. And I was hoping to get the physical copy, not the digital, but what can you do? So yeah, I'm going to be playing this game blind. I have not watched any Let's Plays or fan translations of this game. I'm hoping that once this game sells well, that we get investigations, the investigations two games. As well, duology as well, because seriously, Capcom of Japan, we really want the second game, Investigations 2. Heck, I'll be happy to even Let's Play it. With that said, I don't know how long most of these turnabout / chapters are in this game. So, depending on how long they go, I'm about to say one turnabout, maybe two per video, depending on how long they go. If not, one, because usually they have a to be continued if you're familiar with the Ace Attorney franchise. They have like individual parts into it. I might do a part or two, depending on how long those they go, so probably about an hour and a half into each. With that said, I've been looking forward to this game though. I'm gonna start this as blind. You know it.
The Empire of Japan, after opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Oh boy. November. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is happening. So I can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors, this quiet little chamber, to this quiet little chamber, is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, nothing. No, nothing. Say your prayers. Oh, sorry. I'm not even gonna, I'll say this, I'll try, to pronounce some, names, but, British and Japanese names are gonna be hard to pronounce. Also, I cannot speak British to, save my life, so, even though it's the Queen's English. Shout out to all my friends from all up in Europe. That includes Britain and UK, Wales, Britain, Spain, and Germany. Okay, so let's just start. My name is Renusagate Naruto. Oh boy, that's gonna be a pain in the butt to spell. I'm second year student at the Imperial Yumi University. Oh boy. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying accident. And here I am, awaiting my trial. He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal, so you hold your tongue. Technicalities, look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. Oh boy. And yet, I still seem to know better than you. And how a court officer should behave. Oof. Right, Renuse? Oh, yes, of course. Alright. What is her phone? What's her for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But, really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Wow, they really did not. I think that's not how you pronounce it. They forgot the Z at that. Yeah, that's also another problem with Ace Attorney games. Translations. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspaper for the last few days. You want me? I can't even pronounce that. You want me? University professor, murder in cold blood by a student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I can't do it. I couldn't never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean, I believe you. You're not. I know you're innocent, Masuki. I hope I pronounced that right. Kazuma Asagi, my best friend, also in his second year at that university. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot pronounce that to save the life for me. They'll probably pronounce it in the game. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. And he's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering. Okay, did they have to skip that? I'm not that impressive. Really? The concept of a lawyer is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. The qualifications does not mean much yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. I'm proud to have you a friend like Kazuma truly. 3 days ago. Yes. That's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academy achievements and success in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in sophisticated legal system right in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's no soul in the university. Who doesn't know Kazuma's name? He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura blowing around his temple. I want to bring about a change in our legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean. The real thing is with my own eye. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could go see it. Would see it. Then come with me. We have to. And while time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. Oh boy. If only we're that simple. Oh dear, looks like time. We better get going. Alright, see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this for a little longer. Good idea. After all, not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. We see you in class tomorrow, then, partner. Oh boy. It was straight after that something happened. Asahi, may I have a word? Oh boy. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asahi, you should go to the judge's chambers immediately. They could have rewarded that a little properly. His Excellence's chamber, why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense and trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about the procedures today's results. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go once. Oh, please tell me I shall accompany you. Alright then, Nosaki. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thank you, Kazuma. Awkward. This is kind of awkward. This is awkward. I just said that. I may. If I may. Yes, sorry. You may be the defendant. Again, not gonna pronounce his name, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yuji. Okay, Eugen. Is it Yugen or Yuan? And Mika Toba. I'm the professor of forensic forensic medicine at the university. Ah, Professor Mika Toba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. Mikataba, I think is how it's pronounced. If I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma's study abroad. Asahi told me about you. Zagi. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel like you should know. Know what? Well, as you have now heard, Asahi has been granted permission to go study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you today's trial, then yeah, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked. Oh, there's the downside to this. You're never granted again. Oof. As I suspected, you were unaware of this. Of course, it'll be not that easy. I have a feeling Asahi may have chosen not to tell you. We would have figured that out on our own. It's great, isn't it? knowing that if he fails, his dream will be shattered. Checking something real quick. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has chosen a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable circumstance. Of course, I don't believe it. It makes sense if you think about it. But I didn't do it, I swear. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true, nevertheless. I can assure you proving your innocence will not be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry, what do you mean? You will soon understand once the proceedings get underway. Oh boy. But what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that can lead to your conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will proceed to pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before everyone else. I say, I do. I do. But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations before you? Of course not. Defendant. Court's about to begin. Proceed to the court at once. It was seen yours. Can I even pronounce it? It seem our surreptitious decision are about to be cut short. Can someone explain that word, please? The one that has the S. 1, 2, 3. Surreptitious decisions are to be cut short. Surreptitious. Let me surmise. Kazuma Asagi will not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Must not be the defense lawyer. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. So basically, why are you moving? This is it. This trial just goes badly. Kazuma's dream of studying him wrong is over. I'd be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea what lay ahead, I embarked the forgettable trial. Again, translation. My one and only chance to prove my innocence. The trial that decides my destiny. Were we talking for over an hour? Half hour? So this is the courtroom. The Supreme Court Justiciar. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like looks of the people sitting in the public gallery. Oh, of course. Lots of military and other uniforms in here. The powers may have to be determined by the secret. That this would be a secret trial. A secret trial. A trial that's closed to the only military and government officials may attend. Okay, this has just got awkward, and I have a feeling that the professor has some ties to the military. If I had to take a guess. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Sogi. It's about to begin. Of course! The court will now hear the trial of Sogi Adachi. The prosecutor. Okay, do we have to have another Winston Payne? They could have done anyone else? Anyone? The prosecution is ready. As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made a request myself. Normal procedures is for the defendant's accuracy to be decided 2 days prior before trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I obliged to ask for the final confirmation now. Who advocates? This is it. This must be the question. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What? Answer I do. As I'm...
Yes!
Oh, boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. You're... You do. How's that? Because you don't have faith. You think I wouldn't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's that. Well, I couldn't bear it. Yes, I knew that how you felt, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. That stuck his nose in. Shouldn't have. Oh boy. Very well. The court universe recognizes. Well,
Objection!
Counsel. This is merely show that the defense instance is so apparent that he's confident he can speak for himself. It's not so. Oh, yeah, it's exactly. It wasn't what I was thinking. It's gone. In fact, my mind's completely blank. It's really... I realize you're in charge, but still. Try not to look for wells. Well, for me, I'm really necessary to be brought before the Supreme Court. You must have perpetrated a heinous crime. As you are no doubt aware, the Supreme Court Justiciar this is the Supreme Court Justiciar of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct expected is for all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Norbo? Yes, Your Excellency. Therefore, I as your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Oh boy. Why can't he question me more than I am? So, let's start. Okay. Yes, sir. I may state before the court the name of the victim in the case. You can ask the person with John H. Wilson, the victim in this case. He was visiting professor of medicine and Avion Academy for British Empire. Why do I have a feeling that he's tied to the military? Takasuchi Duchi. My god, this guy is older than Winston Payne. Seriously? The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for a change the cultural reformation that has brought about. Why am I not surprised? Medicine, Eugen Mikatoba, a medical school professor at the Imperial University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and consumer's mentor. All right.
Yes!
I think that name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to the university 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. I knew it! The British Empire. Yep. Ties to the British military, the Japanese military. At present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And most of you are aware that we have just signed a new treaty together after a lengthy negotiation. There can't be anyone who has not heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty. I think it's Anglo or Anglo. Oh, someone please correct me on that. For your friendship and navigation. And your display. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, you two are both undergrads at the university, are you not? Earning a professor from the very institution provides. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. The case is coming to under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court, therefore, wishes a speedy resolution to the matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting the English policy matter. Makers, why am I not surprised? And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. I am not surprised. So that's why this trial has these unusual precarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convince someone quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Yep, that is definitely Felix Wright's great-great-grandfather. But nationalities and treaties won't make a difference for me here. The fact is, I wasn't there at the scene of the crime. Of course, dear. There's the time. I better be going. Alright. See you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this. After all, not everybody... I'm gonna just let this... I just gotta let this be. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at the university. I'm sure he's visiting the professor from Great Britain. I don't know the name, but still, it should go say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let's proceed. Yes, Your Excellency. How did the professor of medicine lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death was a gunshot. Well, it's obvious that it was. Yes, how? First piece of evidence that's shown that the professor's cause of death.
Yes!
Well, the victim suffered from a hemorrhage death from a constituted gunshot. You read the imbecile post-mortem report. That's the post-mortem, I take it. Sorry, yes. So I was right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects a corpse to identify the cause of death in the autopsy. Why am I surprised? But here in Japan, police officer merely inspects the body and draws the conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested years later. This is the so-called photograph print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly see the sparks bullet around. Oh, that was a close-range shot because of the bullet marks. In other words, you should assume the victim was... Yeah, I figured. Well, thank you, Counsel. The court will accept this matter. There's something about that that's off. So that's a photograph print. Oh, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The details is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let's start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to be... This is it. I think I have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can't act, so I'll act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When has he been speaking? Just a moment. Not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his Or really? Maybe, but any help you can give would be greatly appreciated because I'm well, my first piece of advice is rein in the crazy looks of the bewildered and control your cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Touche! Hey. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hasanaga. Osanga. I think that's how you pronounce it? Osanga? I'm the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. La Carnival. That doesn't have a hyphen, so, Carnival. Lake Canorville. Not sure if that's supposed to be Spanish. I know the law part, lay it's supposed to be part with this with the Spanish accent, like Carnival. Okay, anybody's watching this knows Spanish, please let me know. Huh? Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It doesn't really bother me. It really should. I have to agree, especially now. As everybody knows, the capital of southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors for some years. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels, accommodate, and overseas guests. Why do I have a feeling that that's going to also have some plans into it? The crime occurred at the local restaurant, an accidental eatery, accidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Hasanaja's son. You are kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no page actions, aspiring lawyer, please. Oh, aspiring maybe, but aspiring. It's just 2 p.m. on a day in question. We have a few diners at the time. Lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 at the table. 3 tables still occupied. That's first. That fits with my memory too. There was hardly anyone in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away the crockery and cutlery. Crockery and cutlery. Again, I think translation's not fitting well on this. A gunshot rang out and I hurried to the dining area to see what happened. I found a victim, English gentleman, slumped over in his chair. I stand immediately saw was a gun in hand, and the accused was the accused.
Yes.
Hold on. That's a glove. Hey, holding there. Why did you?
Attention!
This is what he meant. I'm not going to speak. Petty interjections. The court will listen to the witness report. If I saw you amateur, sorry, but not a good time. Next. Nice. Don't worry, you have your chance to fight back. For now, you must quietly listen to the witness. If I make a 1 point later, standing beside the victim was the same man you saw today. He's trying to defend hit me. That's what other question. I see. Apparently, the was the only one. There was no one else around that table. What was the matter? That's just not right. When I went over, so hello. There was a woman sitting the opposite of his table. Oh, really? And the waiter could have meant. There's not. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? I'm not gonna... I just would want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Because your parents told us that you're a kind of man who would definitely get the work done hard. I suppose I am. But you can't just always follow the rules of life, now. If you don't say what you now, you'll... Alright. And there is something else.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. There was a lazy.
Attention!
Eating me. Oh boy. Now there's a problem right there. I think. Is there a problem? Yeah. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected up till now. Something certainly has been seems to have shaken. This is not good. Oh. Oh. That's not hard. Yes, at least the moment of gunshot. The only person. Yes, Your Honor. If you admit your guilt, the court was willing to. In other words, you may have some. Or in the defense, if you determine to pursue this matter further in this trial, the prosecution has decided evidence for the witness. Why do you do? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't that be a plea reasonable to say? Everyone keeps telling me this trial's unusual. About these peculiarities. You said it. And so has he, the judge and prosecution. I'm scared of what lies if I push this. As I see from the outset, I believe in your innocence. I trust you. Yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to throw that back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused, in fact, is innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty bound to prove that the innocent is whatever means necessary. Are you going to abandon your duty? That duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet. Defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see how decisive evidence it really is. Ooh, fuck. Indeed. Prosecution, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can't be a devil if I want to. Your entire bloodline's devil, dumbass, dude. A few short moments from now, a dumbstruck young with silence forever. Will the next witness? Officer, bring forth the witness at once. Oh. Witness, come state your names and occupation for the court. Yes, sir. The great Nippon Army Sergeant Lisa Nosa, reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find myself employed as a purveyor in the fine articles, critically from of the nature of Nippon. I conduct my trades from Rasu Tai, a humble premise in the 2nd district of Kario Koratuta. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right, because these are really hard to pronounce names. An antique dealer and a soldier, what an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present in the restaurant during the day of questioning. They must be the diners on the table the waiters mentioned. Myself and I happen to actually take tea of the most adequate aroma and at the establishment in question, always past noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curious which I make my business. I can't understand a word he's man saying. I cannot either, to be honest. He's an antique dealer. He sounds like a regular at La Conneval. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He's obviously targets Lake Carnival because of his high-class restaurant and rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, the sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Touché! Now, you both witnessed Brought up, the enemy was attacking the corner. As war after war, sir. I'm sorry. This man's impossible to understand at the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this decisive evidence prosecutor was threatened. The soldier's claiming he's actually saw the precise moment you shoot the... Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? I am. If I'm honest, I'm feeling uncomfortable from the start. Well, now the court will hear your formal testimonies, please. Please, you will stay. Yes, sir. Stand very clear, sir. Unless I've ever memories of the most audible afternoon, sir. Oh, again, what we saw. Well, I was ingesting a regular beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical decision with the old man. Myself, I was the virtues of a particular fine golden curio, the military gentleman. At the first moment, a firearm was discharged. Now, so his action was what? I was on hands, my knees, investigating where about the mysterious, absent precious girl. Oh boy. Well, so you're certain Nosa witnesses oops, that's further, sir. Sir. What? I can barely speak right now. Well, what times we live in where an English gentleman may be assaulted by broad daylight today. But that's ridiculous. Is that really true? Yes. Like I said. And when I finished, I got up from my seat. When I did not notice the English. Oh boy. I thought I went down and just picked it up. Well, if that's true, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere there is. Let's see, must say. It is right to cross-examine. Do it now. Now. That's clearly good. That's on it. Therefore, it may be clear to pray.
Yes!
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The black store told you to... How do you know? There's clear waste of time. Offense honestly has no experience.
Objection!
Evidence is asserting your right to be cross-examined. Whether or not you think he's capable is irrelevant. That's okay. Yeah. Very well. Let's the defense conduct the cross. Alright, this is rare. But I don't even know what to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have exposed their lies in the witness statement. How? That means the soldier has to be in the lie, to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key is doing it is that evidence. It's evidence, right evidence. As you need to present some decisive evidence and dispute the evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's begin, Murasaki. Don't let him beat you. Yeah. Right. This was all or nothing. And at the precise moment, a firearm must have shot.
Yes!
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that? At first, I saw you laughing. I was talking as much as possible. And allow me to confirm just one point, please. Was that private? Thinking carefully back to your statement you made, it seems to me that it's been after you heard the gunshot that you looked over the victim's table. What was it? What if it was? Well, if that really is the case, then it would mean you did in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Touche. A double R. A sixth sense. Sorry? Sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves emanating from your foul mind. Oh boy. This means a split second you toward I look right at you, cadet. Thoroughly your impossible. Is it? No. Well, I could not even pronounce this. Well, it seems that the soldier is absolutely convinced that so you did the deed. This is not good. And I got the trophy earlier for her. So this black uniform is a cadet. You're sorry that was. You. Alright, I had enough of your sauce. What else was here? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits out the script of my own fault. It was you. Was it? Producing me. I'm not quite sure. I saw something playing in my... In that case, check back at the details of the evidence where you got it. And you'll find it in CC boy. That's his face. Let me look at this. No. Hold on. Better save here. Just in case I screw up. It can't be that easy. Oh!
Yes!
What are you playing at, cadet? What's the meaning of this? Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear... What's nonsense? What? Well, obviously. I think it's... This is so... Oh, please. Surely it doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. The spell out it can be an insult to the poor. Is it? What? What are you talking about? It Apparently, from a single glance at the postmortem report by the defense, there's clearly a discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Lianosa? Lianosa? Yes, sir? What is it, sir? Hey, was it? That the blank fired civilian from the back, the cowardly weasel? Yes, sir, affirmative, sir, witness.
Yes!
But no, that couldn't be. Why not? Why not, Cadet? Because, as clearly stated in the postmortem report, the fatal hemorrhage was from no exit wound, but the bullet did not pass through the body, and the photograph print of it merely shows the same thing. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that's the obviously discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain? Oh, and he has a child behind his back too. Well, what? What the? Yep, I saw that too. I'll be right back. What was that? Something just popped out from behind the back of his alien. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Oh. Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be plausible. Until the moment the fire from my own eyes were firmly fixed on the decision on 6. That would mean the state. There's another problem. What? The last testimony in court heard beyond a reasonable doubt that the witness, Sergeant Lisa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Or that's absurd. Right. To think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for amateur prosecutors. Oh! Get on, dude. Amateur and dude. It's easier. There must be a complete turnabout in this mood of the trial. Just from one. So that's what's being an ace attorney is about. But I definitely saw him. You never get that. He gets fired directly in the victim's
Yes!
But I never fired a gun. Before. And you, old man, did you see the moment the victim was shot either? I have already seen quite clear. The gunshot and me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Okay, that's odd. Indeed. The Hoey era Coban, my prized coin. On each occasion I visit that restaurant, it's my habit to place my blossom pocket, in particular trinket of interest for my shop, Rasetai, in hopes of meeting the rich diner a rich diner who might like to buy from you. On the day of scrutiny, under scrutiny, it was to a military man that I proffered my Hawaii treasure. Believe that he would purchase a rare find. I did not. But I was present with a little alternative. And then, I'm running my eyes for at least a moment. It was no more. I was simply vanished. The coat vanished. Hunting around under the table, I was in the case of mayhap. Really, mayhap? It would have fallen there. And then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you meant. And yes, I did, but I indeed not. It not. I was only concerned with finding my abandoned toy treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? Take that to no. No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hulk coin was lost to me. No doubt, unscrupulous scoundrel pockets for his coin for himself. I see. There's a rumor that this case demands a swift defense. Our government has promised a full report of this matter. Nevertheless, the witness testimony has just heard it there, no matter how the government feels to be the British, must be the British. It would be unforgivable for the verdict to deliver a verdict right now. Ecstasy. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will not find a wolf in the back. My witness have further testimonies to make. Explain. Our next segment. He really seems despicable in opinion of you, doesn't he? Yeah. Very well. The court invites. You will thoroughly explain the reasons behind the prosecution's allegations. Is that clear? As clear as Curico Glass, Excellency. I don't think that's clear. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Can you put that excuse me, but there's someone peeking over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nelson family. Rise up to the ranks, sir. Name item. It would seem those straps are signs of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido teen shut. Ido teen shun. Your father is about to. Watch this. Why do I have a feeling he's behind it? The true culprit. Even if I see at the moment, it's almost the same thing. And yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was the lad in the back. And that much I see myself. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he wasn't the Englishman dining all by himself. Therefore, no one heard him. Oh boy. You forget that he was there too.
Yes!
Wait, it's says the victim. I'm not gonna...
Attention!
I'm not gonna stay for this. Yeah. There's the power. Indeed. Yeah, that doesn't mean that there's not someone else there. No, it was reasonable. It doesn't make any sense. Well, I don't understand what's going on here. It's just not possible that no one else. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains Mr. Wilson's candle, but that's not true. I saw her. I swear I saw that woman with him. Nope. And now is your chance to expose it. Try to draw out the truth in your own. I don't know, Kazuma. The events is the title across the name, but make it quick. Understood? Rules can be unbending at times. I agree. Even if I saw the first moment, firearm discharge is almost the same.
Yes!
Oh, well, it's not the same at all. The sort, I mean, I have a difference in opinion on that. The opinion? I don't think so. Consider this defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Let's forget that antique dealer witnessed the... Something about him is off.
Yes!
You must have noticed something.
Attention!
If only there's been more people dying there at the time, that's something else someone else would have noticed. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. Quite the time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course, the place was almost empty. Is that what you expect? Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating there at the first day. Why was he alone? Yes, Sir Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's pocket. Oh, new evidence to be shown. What was that, Consul? A medical report card, Your Excellency. Saying the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior visiting the restaurant. Hada Clinic. Yes, that would be indeed appear an entire date in question. November 19th, noon, past 1 p.m. That very day at the of the incident. So the victim was late for lunch following his appointment. The explanation could have been more simple. The prosecution feels no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no. I wonder, why do you think? Well, it's hard to see that it can be related. Would be related, really. Remember, you can request it to be entered in a court record. Sorry. Ask for submission.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. Or on what grounds? Court's already heard the concerns of the witness testimony at this level. You may not mention them to the rival of the restaurant.
Objection!
Whether or not they are concerned, it's up to us to decide whether it's right to explore possible event avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse perfectly valid requests for submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense request. This youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's almost disturbing to him. To the court records. Alright, I gotta read. What was the need for this clue? Right, what we need is right now is a new clue. Is new clues. We have to explore every possible angle, if it does seem relevant first. Right, I hear you. You can. Perhaps you've forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to retire your accusation. Indeed, alone, Englishman was Dino. Let me look at that. Okay, why am I doing it?
Yes!
Oh, you actually saw in your own eyes, did you? The victim wasn't dying alone. That I did. Forgive me for this. So the testimony is our man, so. Wait, now I see why. There's only a single beat. Hold on. No. Antigua sergeant and the waiter who testified before. That's not possible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have no idea. Therefore,
Yes!
wait, aren't you telling the truth? I clearly remember. I sat across on the table. That's one. Oh boy. You majestic. Sorry. Later. Wait. I said I wanted to. Plus use the man seed fruit. Be sure. Let's see them. Take the evidence in all directions and examine every angle. Please. First one. Alright. Press X to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at the medical. See if there's anything new you learned by him. Alright, I'll see you when I get. It says hold a clinic in the medical report. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? I was fine. I only caught a cold I've ever had in my life. I remember even I felt awful already. I had the hideous injection right in my arm. I'll never forget it my whole life. Most people would give the right arm to only have one cold in their life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic. People or illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. Don't want. It looks like the medical report was the first issued by some time ago. It's practically Why would you drink a horrible tasting medicine to give you the entire apologize? It demands a lot of money from you. Our healthcare system in a nutshell, am I right, folks? You sound like a model patient. Well, if the bad case of stubbornness, no. Found it. Hello. Let's have a look. It's some kind of medical history. Ah, there's before a professor was killed. Extraction of a molar, typical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It seems so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps Biggie's laughing ass on him. That's the most modern practice, or less painfully. Yes, I've heard this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe that anything can It will stop you from feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautious note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food, drinks beside water from 3 hours post-procedure until anesthesia effects has passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. What's this new information? This mean... It's time to listen to this, don't you? Definitely. Time we get this. Save here. I think it's this testimony right here.
Yes!
Oh, nope. I think it's this one.
Yes!
Got it! I think... was that good? Thanks. I couldn't see quite clear. I could see quite clear that in the class that you raised your hand straight up like that. So purposely. You knew exactly what you wanted to say, huh? Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Like this. Alright. And thanks for the this medical report belonged to the victim. I see. And I don't see what of it for. Comparing to what the writing of the report card you said and with your witness statement, something clear doesn't add up. Oh, doesn't dare near me. Have you begun? Sorry. What? You're not in time. Is there? What? Let's see if I can find the words for you. It was 2 p.m. afternoon. The victim was at the restaurant. Whether it may be done before that time, it's completely irrelevant. But that... remember, you don't have to use a clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is no... There was a witness testimony. For example, there's no one else besides the... This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe... What? What that outburst... Right, me more? Of course I believe it. It's possible. Perhaps because Hada Clinic, which is issued a report card, it's a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if you the victim that had a tooth extraction, if you told the just had a tooth extraction, what's this now? And furthermore, if I told you the results, the victim has been forbidden from eating, or just what are you trying to say? Look at that. He had ordered so what? Written here. No food or drinks other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while under anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Hey. Katsukan? What, boy? What? Are you just, as you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have asserted to the court that with an unveiling of confidence that the victim was dying alone. But it can't possibly be the case. Because the victim was, as we know, and still experienced the same effects of the expertly done part.
Objection!
What is this nonsense? You little upstart. Let's look at the photograph evidence. It's clearly the plaintiff's victim's place.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow logic? How dare you? I think it's fair that the table in the restaurant case has been turned. In this case, haven't turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryusaki? Yes, most definitely. So I haven't to go a search of the victim wasn't able to eat. Which leaves a very crucial conundrum. So, in fact, who was eating the court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I'm assuming. Alright. The answer to the question is going to be pivotal. The turning point during this trial now. Show them what you made of. Got it. So, in. Wait, didn't he say something about the steak? The guy saying steak.
Objection!
It's the two witnesses.
Yes!
Well, that's all. When was the incident occurred? We know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. And yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on the table. Therefore, only one logical conclusion is that somebody else was there eating. We have strong evidence to support that our assertion. It's clear that the witnesses are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice to pursue further retrial relentlessly. Are you saying you would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them, the two witnesses on the stand. What? What are you talking about? You have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it's now our turn, and it turns out the two of you deliberately lied with giving your testimony. Obviously, you will not be charged with perjury. Perjury! And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit? You mean complice? No. I was just following So never. And that's what they are told us. And you just purged yourself right there. Right there. Oh. Wait. What did you just say, Godspeed again? Oh, no. We just following orders. We're just following... Oh, no, hold on, lad. You say never saw the gentle woman. Who says it was a lady? Who says it was a lady? When you say a gentleman, do you mean you saw the victim, the lady? Saw a lady victim with a lady victim with a lady from overseas. What?
Objection!
What does it mean all this? These witnesses gave false testimony. Is this true? Just one simple slip of the tongue. More like slip of your gut ownage. Also, explain what's going on here. It's painfully clear. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecutor has not to know. None of the one. Well, that's classified. And so you're prepared to try against them. We try. So you won. This can't be it. Onosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe that she has any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield some kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It can only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, and who's behind this? If we can continue our pursuit, it has to be someone from the government. So we need a name. Of course, we'll need evidence before we can confirm accuracy. Evidence proves whoever is the wield the power, his or her powers here. How? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? If we examine this piece of evidence for more detail, we might find some new clues. Oh yes, that's right. Well, there's the evidence we have is that we examine everything. There's nothing time to lose. Please, I have no idea about this, I swear. You mean you don't remember the character yourself, don't you? Asanaga. Yes, it is Mr. 210. What's his name? What's so important? The name is not the name. It says job title. Got him! It's job. Oh! Chief Inspector, Sartorius Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector. What on earth? Police have a lot of power and influence if they're not willing somewhere. There we go. Found it. I found it.
Yes!
Oh, surely that would be. The hospital is a waiter.
Objection!
Holy God, what's possible? The mission never heard of the waiter. For once, I would agree with you. If that is the man who truly were the waiter, what? If he were truly one. Come on. With the truth.
Yes!
The plane. I agree. That's not sure. Sorry, Your Excellency. Turn the back. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the business of the card. That's the interest. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps should I say the front? Yes, sir. The front or the back? Well, it seems. Let me please explain. Asanaga's son plan sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the Batson's card. Oh man's question's professional. His true profession. We're professional, but that's true. Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, in Imperial Police Business. What? The waiter is a police detective. I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard it? That Imperial Business has immense power, absolute power as far as regulating as a regular citizens are concerned. So, witness there instead. In fact, the waiter who gave you the order was he told you not to mention that you've seen a foreign gentleman at the scene? Well. Got him. Yep. Inspector Hasanagi. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized that it was a possibility. Yep. It's him. It has to be him. Well. Is there a problem? Of course. Yes, I remember now. He did actually when the judge asked him to hand his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations fully. It was my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? Why would a detective be working at a restaurant as a waiter? Ah, of course. It was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get out there as a waiter working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. Of course. However, I can't state the categories they are related to the case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hasananga, but you will elaborate on one point to the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We heard an information about the two incidents in you. That's the time of the shooting. There was in fact another person in the victim's tape. If that's indeed true, clearly you have been aware of this person's presence, having served the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other dinner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses not to agree. Would you correct? Would that be correct? That blood! Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out to the kitchen to see what happened. The victim was slumped over his chair, and beside him was a gun. Sitting opposite of the victim at the same table was a lady, whom I guess was to be the Englishwoman. So then the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant. I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? And it was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But if that was the killer, I think it would be everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire's views the friendly terms of the relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishwoman has been murdered. I've been murdered on Englishman. And to name an Englishwoman as a primary suspect, well, without any evidence, that would be a... So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? It's currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them is studying in mental facility research laboratory. Is a young Englishman. What? You are a shrewd man. I can see why you're chosen a candidate for overseas study tour. You mean when I removed the woman from the scene from the crime, I thought it preluded to her to check her identity first. The court demands you name Inspector. And there comes the no. The Englishman was still sitting at the person. Was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She's indeed a foreign student studying research ethics in laboratory medical physics. What is happening here? I meant that under the orders from the police bureau, I raised all evidence of the lady's presence at the scene, and order these witnesses not to mention their testimonies. I must know that it must be up to you, Your Excellency, to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been unpinned by a particular premise, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, we have discovered the premise of a fault is false. It would be discretion in our justice to ignore the truth and give...
Objection!
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the new deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraph message for the British. Our own government is surely be very displeased by this. Calm yourself, Council. I will not allow the government of our country or any other influence proceedings at my court. Inspector Hasanaga. Yes, sir. You will escort her to the courtroom in utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you're going against the special orders you were given by the Police Bureau. As I said before, it's my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly, so it won't be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student brief Jezebel wet Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Good. Now, then we'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. And I think this is a good time to call out the stream for a few hours. And then we'll continue the second part of this. Alright, I'm gonna go and call this a stream for right now. We'll continue part 2 in a few hours. With that said, I'm on Gunnels 3 for right now. I will catch you guys in a few hours. Catch you guys then.